got a very interesting show lined up today. We have Dave Weiss from the Flat Earth podcast. I'm all ears. I've gone down the Flat Earth rabbit holes before. I did not come up with anything that was compelling enough for me to change my view and belief on the Earth. I believe the Earth is hollow and a sphere, and there is space. I don't know what his view is on space. There's like Flat Earth people, they don't believe space exists. That's where it ends for me. Like, I can't get behind that. We live in a dome. Wow. Well, he says he's gonna blow my mind. It's gonna be interesting. Oh, Dave is here. All right. I'll keep it respectful.
Is it just us? Just you and I?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you want? A whole crew? We gotta I'm a big talker, and I'm sure you are too. So I can't have other people interjecting.
No, I like it. This is perfect. And just before we start, unless we've already started,
we're starting. Welcome, Dave.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Dave Weiss, Flat Earth podcast, correct?
The Flat Earth podcast and flatearthdave.com.
Flatearthdave.com. You are like on tour, right? Like just convincing and blowing the minds away of people and truthers and all that. That's what your mission is?
You know, people accuse me of a lot of different missions. My mission here is to unplug people from the Matrix. People's minds are plugged into the Matrix, and the Matrix is the heliocentric system. It's a prison for your mind. And when you unplug from it, their whole world changes. Everything changes. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I really think it is the answer to our freedom, because all of the nonsense that's been going on in this world for our entire lives, especially the last couple of years, has been made possible by the heliocentric lie.
Like I said, I've gone down some rabbit holes, and I just was not compelled enough to cross over that line. I am a truther first and foremost. Like, I want the truth, regardless of what I hope the truth to be or what I want the truth to be. I just want the truth. So that is the first step.
JB, am I calling you JB?
Yeah, JB.
JB, we're going to have an excellent discussion tonight because you have an open mind. And I'm going to give you some things to think about that maybe you haven't thought about yet, and then you see where it goes from there. But here's the thing. Let me tell you, and this is the same for everybody. I did a podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole about all of the deceptions that are going on in the world. I'm sure you're aware of the New York event, the Boston event, the Connecticut event, and I was exposing all of these things. But people just fell asleep and went back, just go right back to sleep. They go back to work, and they forget about these things. Then the Flat Earth was thrown at me, and I'm like, you're a retard, and I am going to ban you from our social media because you're too stupid to comment on any of our stuff.
How long ago was this?
This was in 2015.
All right, so 7 years ago.
Yeah. So I started banning people, and then they're asking me to watch video. I wouldn't watch a 1 minute video. Finally, my friend Sophia Smallstorm, I don't know if you know who she is. She's an OG truther. Mm-hmm. She's like, hey, Dave, the deception's worse than I was saying that there's so much deception in this world. She goes, oh, Dave, it's worse. It's worse than that. I think the Earth might be flat. And I'm like, Jesus, not you too. And so I went in with a closed mind. I'm going to disprove flat Earth. I'm going to prove the globe and put all you morons to bed. And that's how you lose the globe. And for 2 weeks, I tried and tried and tried. And then I finally came out the other side, and I'm like, I don't know if the Earth is flat, but it certainly isn't a globe. That's provable.
Now, let me ask you a question. When you're a flat earther, do you not believe in space? Correct?
Space is not as it's explained. Not like we're told. Correct. But I believe your channel. You guys are into. I'm a galactic
guy.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to explain the Galactic Federation, that world. Where it actually is physically possible, where it actually makes sense, and where any interactions with galactic people, you're just using the wrong terms. And what happened is, before we can talk, we were programmed to believe in the ball, right? We were programmed to think that flat Earth was something stupid like this, a disc in space with round planets, or other flat planets. No flat earther believes this is true. People say this is mixing both models. No, it's not. It's mixing the heliocentric nonsense with flat Earth nonsense.
Right.
We don't believe any of this.
Okay.
So you lead the way a little bit, and then I'm gonna kind of come at this backwards with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have an idea.
Try a different approach.
Yeah, we're gonna try something different.
So now,
go ahead.
just to throw some stuff out there.
Yeah.
So you're right. Like now, you are basically going to be able to explain the fact that there are ETs or whatever you want to call them. Maybe it's a different term.
I like extraterrestrial.
All right. So extraterrestrial. You're not saying that they don't exist. So
no, they do exist, and they're everywhere.
All right. So then that's good start.
Yes.
And then now Hollow Earth. Are you with Hollow Earth?
No, and
Okay, no.
a little bit, but let me
Okay.
tell you, there are lots of stuff below us. There's lots of stuff.
Well, there's the dumbs.
But absolutely, and then there's if you watch like John Levy videos and the people that are looking at the mud floods, there's underground tunnels and buildings so far underground.
Cities.
Cities. So
Man-made cities.
the idea that we're in a globe inside of a globe, that's another prison for your mind. Okay, that was put out there on purpose. But let's talk about.
Well, most people don't really go down the Hollow Earth road thing.
Good. Thank God for that.
Now well, I believe in Hollow Earth. So now
You and I agree on your view of this galactic federation. Is that the right word?
Yep.
We're on the same page. We're just looking at it from different paradigms. And when you understand scientifically that, hopefully you're gonna be blown away with this. All right. So where was I going?
All right. Let me ask you this question, Dave.
Go ahead. Yes.
This is where I get really kind of thrown off the loop here.
Go ahead.
The flight industry, the airplane industry, like if it's a flat Earth, like the distance between countries and between north and south is going to be completely different because it's not wrapped around the globe anymore. How is the entire airline industry? They have to be in on it.
Yes and no. It depends on which airlines and who you're talking about. The pilots, they're just following, what GPS tells them. They don't know how fast the plane is actually going. They don't know anything. They're told to get in this air column where there might be a 300-mile-an-hour tailwind.
Okay, back that up. What did he just say?
Yes and no. It depends on which airlines and who you're talking about. The pilots, they're just following, what GPS tells them. They don't know how fast the plane is actually going. They don't know anything. They're told to get in this air column where there might be a 300-mile-an-hour tailwind.
It depends on which airline? Yeah, Dave, that's not going to cut it to explain why trained pilots, air traffic controllers, the entire airline industry is just not aware of this. They're just doing what they're told and following the GPS. Wow. What is the point of it trying to be disproved? Like, why are they trying to create this lie?
Why the lie?
For so long.
Yeah, so the lie is to make us feel insignificant, to make us think that we're lost in space, spinning out of control, moving in 5 different directions at once, that we're just an insignificant speck in a godless or distant God universe. All about controlling your mind. They control your mind through well, we'll get into it.
We listen, we're agreeing that is 100% true. Like they have been lying, controlling, matrixing us, conditioning us, indoctrinating us. That is 1,000%. All the false flags, everything.
Everything. And the way they get away with it is the heliocentric lie. Because if you're every cell in your body thinks you're spinning in space, you're insignificant, far from the creator, with shortages and running out of stuff, and you give away.
But globe people don't believe that the God is outside of us. We believe that the universe is inside of us. So that's not exactly a theory that we believe.
Well, hang on. There's lots of people that have found the creator here on the globe Earth. Okay, you're seeing part of the story, but they don't want you. Here's the thing.
That's the religious part.
I'm not religious. I used to be an atheist because I didn't believe in any creator. I believed in evolution. I believed in the heliocentric model and everything. And then after I discovered that the Earth is intelligently designed, a flat Earth is intelligently designed, then I had no choice but to recognize there is a creator. So the evil elite, we're on the same page there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They don't want you in a situation where you can't deny the creator. And
the creator can intelligently design a spherical Earth too. It's either way.
You could, but it would have to work, and I'm going to show you that it doesn't.
Okay,
work.
yeah, all the stuff that doesn't work.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you,
These
I'm
are
going
the
to
facts.
show you that the stuff that they tell us is scientifically impossible, provably.
Let me
All
ask you a question, Dave, before you go on.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it possible that the cabal, we'll just call them to encompass the whole dark agenda, don't you think it's possible that they don't want us believing in space? Maybe they've started this movement to keep us from exploring space, aliens, ETs, things that disproved religion and all that, and to feel like we are somewhat, you could feel insignificant in a dome too, because now some people want to explore space, and now they're stuck in a dome, and they're like, there's nothing else outside of this. I feel closed in now.
I don't believe we're stuck in a dome. JB, I need you to take a
all right, this is good.
Take a deep cleansing breath and let go of all of the programming that you had for just a few moments.
Okay, so in other words, don't none of these questions. Just let it all go, and then we can cover stuff after.
You can bring more questions, but let's look at plane routes. So now
that's the flight pattern that it took.
This is the flight pattern. It goes all the way up here to Los Angeles, and then all the way back down.
That's how it goes.
This is a flight. This is the same flight on a flat Earth. Interesting.
Very.
All I want is an interesting. That's all.
Very interesting.
Okay. Yeah. On a globe, one of the routes they take is from Santiago. They go all the way up here, all the way across the United States, and then all the way down. That's the pattern. And if they want to go to Western Australia, it's crazier. They fly all the way up here. They fly all the way over to China.
What?
Down Singapore and down. But if you look at it on a flat Earth map, it's pretty much a straight line. Insane. There are no shipping routes that go from Santiago to Australia. None.
Really?
They all go all the way up and then they come all the way back down.
Because of the ports, they're saying.
Well, but yeah, it's nonsense. There's no cruises. There's no nothing. Right? We're not a disc.
Compelling.
It is. Thank you. I appreciate that. What's beyond our pond? Well,
that's the question. What is Antarctica sitting on?
Well, so the way I look at it is Antarctica is the foundation of I call it the basement of the universe. I don't know what it's on. So here's the thing. Anything beyond the shoreline of Antarctica is speculation because we're not allowed to go there. I'm saying, let us go there. Let us prove what this place is. Why are they stopping us? Right. Think about this. All the countries in the war, they're fighting over resources, wars all over the place. Admiral Byrd starts going out there and he goes, hey, there's more land beyond the pole, bigger than the United States, filled with resources that can power the whole world for hundreds of years. And they go, Antarctic Treaty, and every country in the world signs on.
Yeah.
Okay? And no one can go there. You can't even question it until the year 2041. It's the longest treaty in history. Everyone's agreeing.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Everyone agrees on it. Okay?
I know. Nobody broke it.
And it's protect the penguins and the pristine ice. Okay? But go ahead, deforest the Amazon. All this nonsense.
So you don't think it had anything to do with the Nazis and the secret space program and the reptilians?
Hold on.
I'm sorry. I was supposed to stay quiet. I forgot.
No. This is good. The secret space program. We're going to change the words. The secret propulsion program. Okay, just stick with that. Secret propulsion program using free energy technology.
But it exists, is what you're saying. You're saying it does exist.
But I'm just changing the name of it. It's exactly what you've heard.
Okay.
But I'm changing
1954, MJ-12, the treaty, all that shit.
I'm changing the name of it. That's all. Okay. So now here's the thing. Hang with me here. The brightness of the moon is more than 60 times the brightness that we see the sun from Earth.
Now, isn't the light from the moon coming from the sun, or no?
Well, so there's nowhere in science that you can take a dusty, dirty ball, tap light on it, and then that light will bounce back. Right?
True.
And so, what if the world was set up like this? We live here. This white ring is Antarctica. It could be 1,000, 2,000 miles wide. Okay, and then out here is another sun that circles around, and there's more land. What's another word for more? Extra.
Additional?
No, more is extra.
Yeah.
Land, territory. Extra territory.
Extraterrestrial.
If somebody lived on the extra territory,
they would be an extraterrestrial.
And if they came to visit us here in this inner space, where did they come from?
Space.
Outer space.
Yeah.
The outer space. Here.
Yeah,
on a flat Earth. Okay. Now, this is
theory.
Let's say this is 10,000 miles. Okay. That's better than 1 trillion, 100 trillion, quadrillion miles, right? Somebody could, hey, Johnny, fly in here, abduct, you go abduct JB and probe him, and then see if you can make it back for dinner with the kids, right?
Right.
You could probably do it in a day.
Yeah.
Okay. And if they
with technology, sure.
If they, I think we could do it with a friggin' DC-10, all right? A DC-9 or whatever. I think you could do it with an old airplane because, we all know airplanes, big jets don't use fuel. Another rabbit hole.
Okay.
So
this is interesting.
Yeah. So that, again, speculation. Go ahead.
Go ahead. So how come we don't have any whistleblowers?
Oh, we do. Well, we have. There was a Polish astronaut years ago that was interviewed, and the interviewer said, "Hey, do you think the Earth is a sphere or is it flat?" And he's like, "I didn't expect this question." He goes, "The Earth is flat. I can assure you, it's flat." Mm-hmm. And then there's also,
like going on tour whistleblowers, people that expose the deep state kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, the problem, we're getting to that point.
They don't last long; they get executed.
Well, and they also, it's like, you probably just heard about me recently. I'm all over the place. Most people don't know me. There's flat earthers out there that don't know me.
The truth thing is really, really, taking a storm, and that includes this stuff too. Like if somebody has something to say that has to be revealed and declassed, then they're going to come forward. Now's the time, and we need to see more people that had inside access, people that were on the inside of the government that can come forward and say, this is the lie they've been telling us. This is a flat Earth, blah blah blah, and we haven't had that. To that level.
Well, Michael Tellinger, do you know who he is?
No.
Well, he's a big researcher in ancient civilizations. He's about flat Earth, right? There's a lot of celebrities that know the Earth is flat and that talk to us, but they don't want their names released yet because everyone's afraid, right? There's scientists that have spoken out and they lose all their funding. They get shut down.
There's scientists.
There's I forget, I don't have the video right handy, but there was a scientist in 1950s, in the early 60s, that said he was talking about the moon. He's like, the moon is a plasma, and he's like, well, the reporter's like, well, we're going to go to the moon. That's going to prove that wrong. And he's like, oh no. He goes, NASA will never go to the moon. It's not a place. It's not a physical object in the sky. We're orbiting the sun in a circular orbit, in an elliptical orbit. Right? When you change directions, you're changing speed, right? At 10 times faster than this.
Wow.
We're chasing the sun at 100 times faster than this. But somehow, when we go out into nature, this is what we see.
Calm, relax.
What does this tell you? What do your senses tell you?
That we're still.
That we're still.
Yes, still.
We're not moving. They tell us because of the spin of the Earth, the water bulges 14 miles high at the equator. This is what that Neil deGrasse Tyson, the failed actor, tells us. Okay, never happens.
No.
So your view of the world, this galactic federation, is
in line with it.
It will. There could be. I showed you the rings, right? That's one possibility, right? So let me. With
the outer land is what you're saying.
Yeah. So we have the outer land, but.
Like, what does the universe exist within this Earth, the flat Earth?
Well, the universe could be all here across the flat plane. So let's say this is a puddle, okay? And we have our world here. We have a more advanced world here, and maybe even a more advanced world out here.
Oh, so it could just keep really going and going.
Right. Where did the Mayans go? Where did they all disappear to? Maybe one day our sun that was born under a star in the north, our sun started migrated out. All of this would have become frozen, and so all of the people would have migrated out here, and then a new sun was born. A new sun was born under a star. Okay, very interesting, right?
Yeah.
And then they start marching out. Now, extend this over. What if there was another puddle over here, and another puddle, and another puddle, and another puddle, and
that would be the universe.
That would be the universe, right?
A landmass.
We are on the basement of God's floor. And there's all of these puddles, and they all have their little suns. And it is possible infinite space is impossible. The space that you're thinking of is scientifically provably impossible. This is, I think it's even probable, but let's just say it's possible.
It's possible. Let me ask you something.
Shoot.
What is the percentage of, say, because this could exist on both ends, like it could be flat and there could be space, because it's still up for grabs as far as the actual definitive truth, because nobody has that answer. If there's another landmass past the Arctic, if this is this, that's it. So what
if there is no other landmasses? Maybe we just live here. Anything beyond Antarctica, we don't know.
Right.
All right. But we can prove that we're not moving. Look at water. We can prove there is no curvature. That's possible.
We could not be moving, and we could even be flat, but there still could be space.
So let's say the advanced civilization that's just on the other side of Antarctica, not even one that's another
the galactics. You mean
whatever? Let's say they came here and they crashed in Roswell, and we backward engineered one of their craft.
Right.
Okay, I'm down. All right. I don't know if that story is true or not. Could be, right? But there's no way it came from hundreds of trillions of miles away and then crashed, and that's not going to happen here on Earth. Now, and these galactics, they're
the UFOs and all that stuff.
They're human. Everyone, all of these things are human forms. We're bipeds. That makes perfect sense. Grays, I believe that grays come from here on Earth below us. Okay. Or maybe they come from another planet.
Below us, so that would include a hollow Earth.
Not a hollow Earth. There's just layers below us. Maybe just below that 7.5 miles, that's another firmament, and there's a whole other world below us.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe it's hell. Maybe
it could be another world. There could be a sun inside there. There could be clouds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's civilizations.
And again, but this is all happening here within the greater Earth system. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting, and
so the galactics could be just humanoids
here.
Yeah, humans,
here. Right? And maybe some of them live with us. Maybe all those.
So they're Earthlings. They're just different locations of Earthlings.
Yeah, and maybe the Norwegians. They're supposed to be like
ancestors. Yeah.
Yeah. From whatever race, and
the Nordics.
The Nordics. There you go. And that's all from here. They're not coming what is the planet that they're always talking about?
Nibiru.
No. Where the other races come from?
Palladians.
The Palladians might just be 10,000 miles on the other side of Antarctica.
Right. So now the question is
whole world there.
When they come here and have contact eventually, which they say they're going to, will this be revealed? And what if it's not? Like, where do you stand if they do show up in their ships and they reveal themselves as being from outer space? What does it do to you? If they do, if they say we come from a planet outside of your solar system, if they do all this and prove it, what do you do? Like, do you deny it, or are you willing to change? What's the percentage of your views willing to change?
Again, that's a very hypothetical.
Are you open-minded? Are you open-minded?
100%. But again, we've also proven that space is scientifically impossible. But we also proved that there is no curvature. Right? If the Earth is a globe, there has to be curvature. There is no curvature. We've measured distances that would make the Earth have to be 1,000 times bigger than it would be, and it's still not enough because you.
How did you prove that space doesn't exist, though? Like definitively,
scientifically, as we talked about those stars, right? Space and these distant stars.
You proved that they're lying to us about it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Well, so when we look up and see the stars in space, what do you think those lights are?
Stars?
Stars,
planets,
burning balls of gas in a vacuum.
I mean, I don't really know what the freaking stars are. I just know that they're there.
Well, they're here within the Earth system, right? And our optics have outgrown their lives. What about, you said the portals are theoretical. That's the same kind of thing as saying that space doesn't exist. It's theoretical. Well, the space that they're telling us is scientifically provable, doesn't exist. The whole idea. The space that they're telling us. Yeah, absolutely. This one. Do you think the secret propulsion program has been working with these extraterrestrials all these years, all these decades? I think that our governments, the people that run this world, are they're not the leaders, the rulers of this world. They're puppets. Correct. Controllers who live maybe outside of Antarctica or on. So you do believe that we're in a present planet that's controlled by extraterrestrials, whether they're on this
on the other side of the wall.
Think of the word extra land.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So, but you do back that as far as like, and are they reptilian in nature, like lizard looking?
I don't know. I've heard some really compelling stories about some of the royals in London morphing and then torturing children. And stuff. Hey, I don't have any proof of it.
Shape shifting.
It's very, very interesting stuff.
I mean, the Dumbs, they've been conducting all these freaking hybrid program experiments, abducting children, experimenting on children. Yeah, we better wrap it up.
I want to show you. I developed an app. Like,
you didn't answer that question though. I said earlier.
What was the question? Sorry.
If it actually turns out that where they do make contact and reveal where they are, where they came from,
if they can prove it,
what your willingness is to like. Let me just put it this way. Let me ask you this: are you willing to say that there's a percentage of you that could be wrong about this?
We can be wrong about anything if you could show us proof, but we've been looking for a long time and we've scientifically proven that lots of these heliocentric beliefs are impossible.
Right.
And again, belief is the enemy of knowing. Like, people want to believe lots of stuff. Lots of the stuff that you believe, I believed. But
we do.
It was all belief.
But at the same time, now let me just present something to you. There are a lot of witnesses that are on these secret propulsion programs that have been claimed to be have been off planet and on the moon and on Jupiter.
Let's talk about this.
Are they all lying?
No. Check this out. You believe you live on a globe, and they get you on a secret propulsion ship, and they shoot you off where the Earth just gets smaller and smaller and smaller because you're going up really high. And then now we're going across the Earth plane, and we're leaving the lit up Earth behind us.
Okay.
And it shrinks away to tiny. And then we fly through the darkness over Antarctica and beyond.
And now we're on another planet.
And then we come to another puddle, and that light gets bigger and bigger, and it looks round because it is a circular thing. Our brain sees a sphere, and we land, and now we're on Mars. That's a scientifically possible way. I'm not saying it's what's happening.
Right. It's possible.
Flying through a space vacuum to a distant planet 25 million miles away is not possible. Okay?
Well, they say that they go through these portals.
Again, these are hypothetical things. Hey, just a shout out to all the flat earthers. Listen, we were all here once. Be nice. Flat earthers get very passionate in the comments.
Well, am I disrespectful? No,
you're not disrespectful. You're an awesome guest. You have,
actually, you're a guest.
right. But I want people to give you time. You need time. And I was you. Trust me. I was in the Galactic Federation.
I question everything.
Yeah. So
listen, I like Dave. I like him. Here's where the evidence for space overwhelmingly just dwarfs the non-existence of space. And that is what I said before, which is you can't produce any insiders that can come forward and say, yes, this has been a big, elaborate scam. Nobody has said that. Yet millions of citizens that have been abducted talk about it, and soldiers talk about going to planets. And you can't just say they take them to the other side of the Arctic and tell them that's a planet. Come on, man. We're talking about soldiers that are going in space and going on planets and coming home, seeing the galaxy. Secret space program has put many people through it, and they have stories to tell, but nobody's coming forward saying they saw a flat earth or we live in a dome. There's been stories of ETs contacting humans and taking them on ships, and people talk about it all the time. You have Elena Denan, I just had her on the show. Alex Collier, you have so many. You have to acknowledge these people's stories. You can't just disregard that. Where are the whistleblowers for the flat earth community, for the dome? They don't exist. The entire airline industry would have to be in on it. Entire shipping industry would have to be in on it, and there's no whistleblowers. Where are they? You think one ET, one would say, you know what, folks, here's the deal. There is no space. We come from the other side of the wall. No, none, not one.
So again,
you were all about the Galactic Federation.
I loved it. Yes, I loved it. And I grew up with Star Trek. I watched every episode of Star Trek.
Really?
Right? Of course.
So you were passionate about space.
Loved Star Trek, right?
Really?
Now we have Captain Kirk faking rocket launches with him on it That's a whole.
So that must have been highly disappointing to find out that, to discover what you did after being so passionate.
At first, but then it
was liberating.
No, it's so liberating, and the world is so much interesting. And I ask every flat earther this: since you've been a flat earther, has there ever been 1 second of boredom? And no one's ever bored. Boredom is the killer. Fear and boredom are the killers, and that's what the indoctrination system wants you. They want you to be bored and hopeless and powerless.
Yeah.
Right? When in reality, we're at the center of creation. Our thoughts create our reality. So I created this app. It's called the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app, and I offer 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. But here's the challenge: every day there's a new video that shows up right here. You tap that, and the video will play. Short ones during the week, longer ones in the week.
Every day's a new one.
Every day's a new one, right? And then, and after 2 weeks, if you think the Earth is a globe, you can send me that. You can send me that proof, and you win 3 Bitcoins. But before you do that, you have to go to the frequently asked questions page, like right here. It says, "What about ships over the horizon? What about eclipses? What about gravity? Right? What about seasons?"
Covers all the questions.
If I hit like "What about seasons?" up comes a playlist of videos. That
wow, that's really packed.
Yeah. Well,
is it your app?
This is my app.
Nice.
There's so much information.
That's why you can afford 3 Bitcoins to give to people who prove it.
No one's getting my Bitcoins because there's no proof of the globe. But flatearthdave.com is the only link you need to put. It's got the app. It's got my interviews page. It'll have your interview when it's on when you add it.
What are you doing? Like 3 a week?
3 a day.
3 a day?
Yeah.
How do you have the energy to do this?
You hear my voice?
You're never bored, you said.
JB, you got some thinking to do, man. Good talking to you.
I do. Thank you.
Talking to you. And
great.
Flatearthdave.com. See you guys.
You got it, brother.
All right.
Talk to you.
Bye-bye.